Hello, Facebook. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. We are having technical difficulties today, so I'm going to head over to my Facebook page, see if I'm actually live, and then we will get started. Okay, so let me know if you could see me and hear me down in the chat. As far as I can tell, I am live. And I'm going to go ahead and share this into the group so that those of you joining from the group can let me know that you're here. All right, I see 2 people watching. I might be one of them, so please do me a favor and comment below because I have done a whole entire webinar training and there has been no audio. So I don't want to do that again. That will not be useful for anybody. So I'm going to let a moment pass by and wait for those comments to come in. As you are commenting, let me know what your business is. I really like to know what industries we're working with today so that I can really help you. Okay, Monique says I can see you. Sadie says hello. Lydia says I can see you. Okay, that means you can hear me too, right? Just double check the audio is working. Beautiful. All right. Hi, Monique. Thank you. So Monique, definitely, she is ready to go. She responded via email. Sadie, you're here. Let me know what your business is. Lydia, let me know what your business is. So here's what we're going to do. This is day 1 of a 2-week challenge. So if you are watching the replay by chance, welcome. You're not behind. Everything's going to be okay. We have a lot of replay audience, so it's totally fine if you're catching up on replay. But those of you who are live, I really want to honor you for making the time. When you make the time for your business, it always, always pays off. Beautiful. Okay, Lydia says, I can hear you. I work in real estate. Amazing. I love it. All right, so here's what we're going to do today. Today is September 10th, day 1 of the challenge. Mark your calendars. The next training will be on Thursday, the 12th, and then we're going to meet again next week on Tuesday and again on Friday. All of these details will be emailed and posted in the group. Try to make it live every single day if possible, but I know you all run businesses, so try to make it live at least once because then I'll get to actually coach you and give you individual coaching and mentoring based on your business and based on your industry. So here's how you know if you're in the right place. If you are a business owner and you're in the first 5 years of business, and you are looking to get to 100K, or maybe you've spent some time where like you didn't sell for a little while or you took a break from business and you're trying to ramp back up, you're going to be in the right place. And let's even say you're over 100K and you're wanting to get to your next level, you are still in the right place. Because here's what's going to happen. At every level of business, we are going to run into this pesky little thing called imposter syndrome. So first of all, let's talk about it. Tell me if you've experienced imposter syndrome and tell me what it feels like for you. And then I'll talk to you about what it feels like and looks like for my clients and how it's looked and showed up in my life. By the end of this training today, you're going to have actionable tips, like actual things to do. And I'm going to show you how to shift your mindset and just not even make imposter syndrome a problem anymore. Are you with me? All right, Elisa just joined. Welcome. Beautiful. So here's what I want to know. In your head, when you think of imposter syndrome, what are the things that this imposter syndrome is telling you? And I'm actually going to look up the definition of imposter syndrome because here's what I find. A lot of these syndromes are made up, and I want to normalize it a little bit because this is what the internet's telling us, right? This is what Wikipedia tells us. Imposter syndrome is the psychological experience of intellectual and professional fraudulence. One source defines it as subjective experience of perceived self-doubt in one's abilities and accomplishments compared with others, despite evidence to suggest the contrary. So here's how I see this show up, and here's how it shows up for my clients, and here's how it may be showing up for you, right? Your brain is telling you, I don't know how to get these results. I'm not smart enough. And insert, like there's something here like I'm not enough. Sometimes it's I'm not smart enough. Sometimes it's I'm not pretty enough, tall enough, experienced enough. I'm not networked enough. There's something here that is telling us that we're not enough. and we're not able to get our results. So if you want to drop in the comments what that looks like for you, go ahead. But this is what I work with my one-on-one clients on all the time, is this essential feeling of not being enough. And I'm going to teach you how to get through it today. And then the third one has to do with comparison, right? The third thought of imposter syndrome has to do with comparison. And it pretty much looks like they have more XYZ than me, right? They have more followers than me. They have more experience than me. They have a nicer car than me. They have a better video camera than me. Like whatever it is that you think you need to be successful, typically you're going to start seeing someone else outside of you who has the perfect thing, who has the YouTube channel, who has the followers, who has the network, who has whatever, nice clothes or pretty hair, whatever the thing is that you're telling yourself that you don't have. So I'm going to break this down for you so you know exactly what to do. If you're a note taker, grab your notebook, but don't worry, the replay will also be available. I would recommend you watch this back again, okay? I'm going to check the comments here really quick. All right, so Lydia says, biggest hit of imposter syndrome was comparing my success to other people's successes, which made me feel extremely discouraged. Lydia, I feel you and I understand. So let's talk about this a little bit. I'm going to give you a brief history of my past in business and in life. So I've been in sales and marketing for 20 years, right? I've always sold things. I started at a surf shop in California, but I lived in Pennsylvania. So I moved from Pennsylvania, which has no oceans, to California as a 19-year-old. And I learned how to sell surfboards and skateboards. And I had no clue what any of these things were. But I just want to offer to you that I decided that I was going to figure it out. And I decided that if I knew just enough, like if I just knew the basics, I didn't need to have surfed. I didn't need to know how to skateboard. I didn't need to know how to snowboard in order to sell it. So I have been doing this for 20 years, just deciding I can know just enough and I can educate people just enough to influence them to make their decision to buy. And that is all that we're doing whenever we're growing our business, is we're influencing people. We're letting them see the reasons why they would want to work with us. The difference is if you're selling something physical, right? Like a surfboard, you don't take it personally when they don't buy it. When you have a service-based business, you're selling yourself, you're selling your service, what happens is you start to become really sensitive when people say no, or when they're not responding, or when you're not getting social media likes and engagement, and you're thinking it means something about you. So you're allowing it to confirm, yep, see, I'm just not good enough. Yep, I'm just not smart enough. Yep, there's just better people out there. And so we want to solve that here today. And we just want to not have that take you down a path of hiding, of not showing up, of not doing your marketing, of not doing your selling, right? All you need to do to have a successful business is show up and meet people and let them know what you do. But the problem is you get discouraged and then you start hiding because you start thinking, well, it doesn't matter what I do anyway, okay? Now, it's not a problem. It's okay. We're going to solve this here today. Yeah, so Lisa says her thoughts that are coming up are, I'm not qualified. I need more education. People don't see me as an authority. I think people think I can't do it. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Lisa. And Lydia says, lots of self-doubt. I'm proud of myself for shaking that off. Yes, exactly. Not networked enough, comparing with others. Yes. Okay. So all of these are solvable. Let's just start with the general not enough. Okay. When you go down the path of not enough, I want you to just sit here for a moment. Part of this conscious business bootcamp is feeling into your feelings and your emotions, because consciousness is awareness. And what I teach with all of my group business coaching clients and my one-on-one clients is we want to feel deeply in our heart that not only are we good enough, but people want what we have to offer. And there's nothing else we'd rather be doing than doing our business. So right now, when you're thinking, I'm not networked enough, I don't have enough education, I'm not educated enough, I don't have enough followers. When you think that, I want you to just feel it just for a moment. How does it feel in your body? And typically, the feeling that's going to come up for you is not a good one, right? It doesn't feel good. A lot of times it feels like a heaviness in the chest or kind of like defeated, discouraged, right? And the energy of thinking I'm not enough or I don't have enough makes you feel like you have lost energy. And when you think about the feeling of having lost energy, I'm feeling discouraged, I'm feeling drained, I'm feeling tired. Whatever we think leads to what we feel, then whatever we feel leads to what we do. It leads to the actions that we take. So I want to offer a very, very simple shift for you. We're all going to practice this together. I want to invite you to take a few deep breaths, feel into that space, maybe of that discouragement, that not enoughness. Now I want you to bring to mind, what is the revenue goal that you want to achieve this year? And if you're already discouraged, you're like, I just can't make that amount this year, then I want you to zoom forward and go, okay, what's the revenue I want to make in the next 12 months? And allow yourself to dream here a little bit. Think about the number. Think about how it would feel to have that coming into your bank account. And just to give you a little bit of math, this challenge is for anyone in any stage of their business. So maybe your goal is to get to $2,000 a month. Maybe your goal is to get to $4,000 a month. Maybe it's to get to $8,000 a month, which is a $100,000 business, a six-figure business. It doesn't matter where you are. I want you to shift into imagining that that money is consistently coming into your checking account each month. Tell me how that feels to imagine it. Drop it in the comments. And then tell me what you would think about yourself if you already created it. Okay? And I'm going to give you an example. This is a personal life experience of mine. So I've been coaching for 10 years. I started off as a health coach in 2015 after getting fired, after having my own health challenges. I was like, you know what? I want to help women love themselves. I want to help them feel good enough in their bodies. I want to help them feel like they don't need to be skinny, like they don't need to be a certain weight to feel good enough. And I did that work for a solid 5 years before I wanted to transform my life. I left a narcissist. I was with a narcissist for 9 years. And that narcissist, if you're not sure what a narcissist is, they only care about themselves. And that person was putting me down so much because I had so much self-worth issues. I let him say things to me very negative about my body, about my business. He would tell me I'd never succeed. And finally in 2018, I got the courage through hiring a life coach and then through going to Bali on a transformational retreat. I spent all my money. I spent $5,000 to go on a retreat. And I decided I'm going to become a life coach. I don't just want to coach people on their health. I want to coach people on everything. So I spent all my money, went to Bali, transformed my life, came back. Then I had a complete meltdown, right? So I want to honor you in knowing that breakdown comes before breakthrough. So if you feel like you're in a breakdown right now, I want to let you know your breakthrough is coming. And I'm going to share why. How I know this is true is because I spent all my money to go on this retreat to Bali. And I had this big, massive breakthrough in 2018. And then when I got back, I got fired from my part-time job, which was supplementing my business income. I was getting evicted because I actually couldn't pay my bills because I didn't have any of that income coming in from my part-time job. And I didn't have a place to live. And I'm sitting here going, wait a minute. I just transformed my life. I just spent all my money. I just did the thing that you're supposed to do. Why doesn't my life look like this yet? And so at the end of 2018, I have a degree in molecular cell biology. I have 15, 20 years of experience in sales and marketing. And at that time, I had to humble myself enough. And I went back to the mall and I started working at Athleta, making $9 an hour. Because at that time, that's what I needed to do to sustain myself. So that was my breakdown moment. Then in 2019, I said, I have to get another job until I'm able to build up this life coaching business, right? I had to transition from a whole industry to a new industry. And so in 2019, I went back to full-time work, getting paid well beneath my skill level. But that entire year was the year that I built up my confidence to go out into the world. Then I went full-time in my life coaching business after getting fired again in 2020. I went full-time in my business in 2020. That first year I made $25K. Then the next year I made $47K. Then the next year I made 75K. And then last year in 2023, I made 130K. I hit the 6-figure mark. Okay. So I'm painting this vision for you to say, if you're in that season of breakdown, you are in the right spot. I'm going to coach you and guide you through this because you will, if you're holding that vision, you will be able to shift your focus and then start taking actions that's going to allow you to create the revenue that you want. Okay. So let me shift here. Let's see. All right. So Lydia says, if she was believing and feeling that the money was already coming into the bank account, she would be feeling wonderful and she would have peace and feel that she would be okay. I love this, Lydia. Thank you for sharing. Monique says she'd feel accomplished. If the money was already there, goal achieved, she'd feel accomplished. Yes. Lisa says, it feels so freeing. I feel accomplished and able to breathe, and I feel motivated. So, so good. Okay. Now here's the part that I need you to sit with me on, okay? This is going to feel backwards to you, but trust me, I'm a 6-figure earner. I've created the results. I continue to create results, and now I'm going to 1 million. I will make 1 million in my business in the next 5 years, guaranteed. Now, how do I know this, and how am I going to share this with you? This feeling exercise that we just did, the way that you're going to get over imposter syndrome and get into your next goal is by feeling this way on purpose every day before you make the money. I know this feels crazy, but let me break this down for you. In 2020, it took me 9 months to sign my first client. I had signed like a couple little coaching clients, like a little couple groups, $300 to $500 to $600 here and there. But to sign my first paying one-on-one client that was multiple thousands of dollars at that time, it took me 9 months. So what did I do for 9 months to get myself in the right headspace to go out there and make offers? This is exactly what I did, and I want you to write it down. This feeling that you would feel if you already made the money, you have to intentionally get into that feeling state every day by thinking thoughts that help you get there. Okay? So here's what we're going to start with. You already listed out a couple of thoughts that you're already believing about yourself, right? I'm not networked enough. I'm not experienced enough. There's people doing better than me. I need more education. People don't see me as an authority. I want you to write all of those thoughts down on one side of the paper. And again, you can do this as homework or you can do it along right now. Then on the other side of the paper, I want you to write what you want to believe. And I'm going to teach you how to do this because this is called subconscious reprogramming. The way that we think new thoughts is by practicing them over and over again. The reason why you're so good at imposter syndrome is because the brain is so good at offering you negative thoughts. And the problem is you agree with them. You're like, yep, that seems true. There's definitely better people out there than me. And what I want to offer to you is you have a choice. You have a choice to believe the thoughts or to not believe the thoughts. And something about me is I am a warrior. I will go against my negative thoughts. I will spend time, energy, money, resources every day. And I've done this for the past 10 years, but more specifically, really dedicated myself to this in the past 4 years. I will spend so much time every day rewriting my thoughts, reprogramming my brain. And this is what I want you to understand is the secret. It doesn't feel sexy because everybody thinks there's like a social media strategy or an Instagram strategy. And yeah, there are a lot of strategies. But if you don't have the belief to back up the strategy, you're going to lose your energy. You're going to lose your energy. You're going to quit. You're going to slow down. You're going to stop showing up. And if you stop showing up, you're not going to be able to get the results. So here's what I'm going to walk you through. When you're setting your goal to reset, right, your beliefs, you don't just want to do the opposite. Because like if you think I need more education, like I'm not educated enough, and then you try to make your brain believe I am so well educated, I am so brilliant, your brain will reject it. So what we need to do is look for evidence of how you are educated enough. Let's actually go to the facts. Let's actually go to the experience that you do have. And so I'm going to help you reframe some of these thoughts. And each and every one of you is going to take a different thought for yourself in your own words, but I want you to actually be able to begin believing it. So here is what we got. Here's how I would reframe these thoughts. So we have comparing my success to other people's success, okay? So this would be like, I'm not successful enough yet. The solution to this is the thought, I'm proud of myself because of what I've achieved in the last 5 years or 10 years. Anytime you're thinking you're not successful enough now, you want to look back to the past 5 to 10 years and compare it only to yourself instead of looking forward to other people and comparing yourself to somebody who's been doing it for 20 years and you've only been doing it for 3. So look at your past successes. So instead of, I'm not successful enough, I'm proud of myself for never giving up. Next one. Instead of, I'm not qualified, list out your qualifications. So what I did, I've had so many jobs in my life, and to me, they make me a brilliant life coach. I used to be a dog trainer. And so I tell myself that experience as a dog trainer, which is just behavior modification, positive reinforcement, all of that skill and experience is relevant to life coaching and business coaching. So I go back 15 years of my life and I see, how does every single experience add to my qualification? How does every book that I've read, how does every podcast I've listened to, every YouTube video I've listened to, how does that qualify me? And here's something else for you, Lisa, and anybody else who has this thought, I'm not qualified enough. This thought carried me through my business. A first grader can teach a kindergartner something. So we have a couple real estate agents on here. You are an expert compared to your average layperson. You're definitely an expert for somebody who's never bought a house before. So what if you started saying, I'm an expert at the real estate process? If you pass the exam, you're an expert. Or, I know more than them. I know more than whoever's hiring me. You just need to know a little bit more. You just need to be one step ahead. Okay? The next one, people don't see me as an authority. The reason why you think people don't see you as an authority is because you don't see yourself as the authority. So you want to now decide, here's why I'm an authority, and list it out. I think people think I can't do it. Remember, if you're thinking those thoughts, it means you think you can't do it. So a way to rephrase this, instead of saying, I can't do it, phrase it as, I'm willing to learn as I go. I'm willing to learn as I go. This other one, lots of self-doubt. Okay? Here's what I want to let you know. Imposter syndrome is just a symptom of doing big things, of deciding I want to go for it. Imposter syndrome is just a series of thoughts in your brain that says, hey, this is scary, we might die. And it's not true, but remember, our brain is still very primitive. Our reptilian brain is still very primitive, and it thinks that us leaving the cave means that we're going to get eaten by a lion. And we're literally, when we're going out on social media, we're like, there's a lion out there that will devour me. Whenever really all it is we're afraid somebody's going to leave a negative comment. Okay? But in our body, it feels the same. So instead of telling yourself, I can't do it, you tell yourself, I'm willing to step into courage today. The next thought, I'm not networked enough. This comes up a lot because you have so many people on social media telling you, you need a bigger audience, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to go viral. What if you said, especially for real estate agents or those of you who offer a service like coaching, or you offer like a personal organizing service, or you do some type of service for a human, right? It only takes one. I know one person in my network could be looking for my service right now. So instead of thinking about needing a big network, thinking about the one person who might already be in your network. Yes. All right, I want to see what else is here. Okay, let me know if you're still with me on this. So what we've done is on the left side, we've put all of our negative thoughts. On the right side, we're reframing those into thoughts that we can believe that help us feel better, thoughts that help us feel peace, that help us feel accomplished, that help us feel motivated, thoughts that allow us to take a deep breath and feel safe and okay and say, I've got this. I can go out here again and do this today. Now, some of you, most of you, the type of clients I work with, you're like, okay, great, I did it. Now what? But like, what actions do I take? Great, I journaled today, right? Here's what I want to start with. If you're looking for actions, your action is every single morning you wake up and you consciously reprogram your brain. So I want to teach you just briefly about neuroscience. I'm such a nerd. I've been studying neuroscience since 10th grade science seminar class. I literally signed up for the nerdiest class called Seminar in Science, and I pulled out all the research books and I looked up like the most interesting things I could find about neuroscience at that time. And at that time, this is like 20 years ago, at that time, there's this concept called neurogenesis, which means the creation of new brain cells. At that time, the science was saying, nope, you can't create new brain cells. You're just born with the amount you have. You're just dumb. You're born dumb. You're just dumb. And now science actually shows us two things. The first thing is it shows neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is neurons, right? So neurons actually are cells that go together like this and they communicate through synapses, which is just kind of like, hey friend, high five, I'm going to communicate with you. It's like the telephone wires. And what happens over time is when you practice new thoughts, new beliefs, your brain cells will actually start creating new synapses and start creating these, I call them train tracks in the brain, that allows you to start going down a new path in the brain. So there's actually evidence through repetition, through subconscious reprogramming, that when you repeat affirmations, meditations, visualizations, when you do this often enough, you actually end up rewiring your brain. Now, why do you want to know this? You want to know this because the goal that you have, to be the 100K earner, that version of you thinks differently. That version of you feels differently. And the way to get there is to start practicing feeling like that right now so that you can be that person in the future. The second thing that they have proven now is they've always talked about, like, we have junk DNA, we're not using our DNA, and there's just throw it away, that has no purpose. But now there is the study of epigenetics, which actually upregulates gene expression. So genes make proteins. Proteins show up in our body to do different functions, right? Essentially, we can make ourselves well or we can make ourselves sick through our thoughts. Science has proven this. So it's not just genetics, you're born with it. We actually have the conscious way to reprogram not only the health in our body, but the vibrancy in our cells. So the reason I want to give you this is because most people are like, okay, great, I just think the new thoughts, I just journal, I just meditate. What does it do? It physically reprograms and restructures your energetic field, your physical body, and that energy and that feeling and that vibration is chemicals existing in your physical body that enables you to go out and do the things, take the actions that you need to take in order to reach your big goals. So step one, every morning, grab your journal, write down all of the thoughts that you want to think, even if you don't believe them. Write down, I feel so good and at peace because I have 6K coming in monthly, because I have 10K coming in monthly. I feel so accomplished because I just signed a client today. I feel so grateful that I'm working with my best clients. I love going to networking events. What you're writing is going to feel false to your conscious brain. But the reason we do it in the morning, and if you really want to go for it, do it in the evening before bed, is because this is what's known as the hypnagogic state. It is the hypnotic state. And guess what? We are all in a hypnotic state. If you are consuming social media, you are being hypnotized to believe that you need something outside of you, that you're not good enough, that you need a bigger audience, that you're doing Instagram wrong. You're also being conditioned to believe that if you're a woman, you're aging, you're getting old, you shouldn't be aging, right? Like we are programmed with all of these negative beliefs. So my invitation to you is to stop allowing the consumption of negativity and start programming in what you want to think, believe, and feel. Okay? All right, let me know if you're with me right now. Let me know if we're still on. And I'm going to pause here and let you know how this gets into actions. And I'll give you like a simple story too. So I remember this was 2020 and somebody had just, so in that time in 2020, I was working towards my first 10K month. And I hired one of my mentors. I paid her $6K to work with her to figure out like, how do I get to 10K? Like I want to figure out how to do this, how to sign that many clients in 1 month. And so I worked with her over a period of 12 weeks. And during that time, spoiler alert, I got there. I like got to 10K in like 10 or 12 weeks, right? Like I did it. But one of the practices I did, I remember it specifically because I have a Facebook memory of it. Somebody had gifted me a gift to go get a massage. At that time of my life, I didn't have excess money to get massages. It wasn't part of my experience. But I remember consciously going out into the world with my gift card. And I said, when I go to this massage, I am going to pretend that I make $12,000 a month. And I'm going to walk with that energy. I'm going to be with that energy. I'm going to give a really abundant, good tip to the massage therapist because I want to see what it feels like to be that person who makes $12,000 a month. Now, spoiler alert, I now make that or more. My highest month to date is $25,000 a month. And now I'm working towards million, right? So I have to start resonating with $100,000 a month in my body and see what that feels like. So I remember going out, having that experience, having the best massage. I felt so abundant. I noticed I felt kinder to people. I was walking more slowly. I was smiling at people. And in that moment, I felt at peace. I felt like I had enough. Now, of course, I kept investing in my business. I kept showing up. I kept taking the actions. But I want you to see that at the foundation, you thinking and feeling and believing as the person who has the result is the thing that creates it more in you, right? I see a lot of people do this incorrectly. So what they'll do is they'll be like, oh, like that version of me is like way more organized. And like that version of me doesn't have a messy house. And like, she's definitely just like better. I don't want you to be thinking about that version of you being better. I just want you feeling what it feels like. To feel accomplished, to feel at peace, to feel good enough, to feel motivated, okay? So this is what we do at the beginning of the day. Your action step is to do your daily journaling, and I want you to do this for the next 2 weeks. We're gonna be together for 2 weeks. You have plenty of time to do this, and I would really invite you to take this seriously. And if it doesn't work, you can be like, it doesn't work for me. But I have yet to have a person who is not profoundly impacted by this journaling experience. And let me just offer this to you. My mentor that taught me this, she told me about it. And I was like, yeah, but I don't like journaling. And like, I'm tired in the morning. Like, I can't do that. And then finally, once I paid her $6,000, I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to like try this journaling thing. So what I want to offer you is take this as a $6,000 lesson. You don't need to pay me $6,000, but take this as a lesson that's like, I wonder if I practice this, that it could make me $6,000. Like, would I try it? That's what I want to leave you with is like, actually try it because why not? Okay. So some of you, and this is, I want you to actually think of 3 ways to reprogram the mind. So first way is writing. Second way is audio, listening. So what the next step I'd like you to do over the course of 2 weeks, right? So some of you are gonna go gung-ho, you're gonna do all of it, that's fine. Some of you are gonna do 1 or 2 things, that's fine. Do what you're able to do. This is not like a homework situation that you have to do. I want you to do what you can do sustainably for you. So the second thing, once you write down all of the positive thoughts that feel good in your body, that describe the life that you want to live, that describe who you're becoming, that describe the money in your bank account, I want you to grab your phone, go to the voice notes, and record. Exactly what's coming out of your mouth is going to be exactly what you wrote in your book. And so you listen to it. Maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe it's 20 minutes. But I recorded this in 2020 for myself. It was 25 minutes. And it was, I'll give you what mine kind of sounded like. It was like, wow, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am full with clients. I make $10,000 a month. I have a $100,000 business. All of my clients love me. I have a housekeeper. I get my lashes done. I have a spray tan. I have a beautiful office that I love. I have a housekeeper that comes to the house. I have a new beautiful car. I love my car. I wake up feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Clients are always referring me. People love me. I get invited to networking events. I get invited to speak. I get paid $5,000 to speak. And I just kept writing down all of these things. Now, spoiler alert, you guys, this was 4 years ago. And at the time, remember, I was making like $600 to $1,000 a month before I was able to double my revenue and get to like 4K, 6K, 8K, 10K. But I have all of those things now. I get my lashes done, I get my spray tan, I'm in my beautiful office. I have a home office and I have an external office. I get paid $5,000 to speak. I'm fully booked with one-on-one clients. I've raised my prices, so I make even more now. I have everything that I was journaling back then because I dedicated myself to journaling it every day and listening to it. And not only that, feeling it in my body. Okay? All right. And then the third one, right? So we're going to write it, we're going to hear it, and then lastly, we're going to speak it. So here is what you can do either with yourself or with a good friend or with your coach or in a coaching community. I will have a special announcement for those of you who are involved in this challenge. I will have a special offer for you to coach with me in my group coaching programs. This would be a great place to practice this, but you can practice this with anyone. I remember I used to do this with some of my like entrepreneurial friends and some of those people who were really positive and uplifting, and they believed in consciousness. They believed in manifesting. They believed in speaking it out into existence. And I shared this with them. I remember I was in my office and I'd walk down the stairs and I would go talk to them and I would say, guess what? I just signed a client. I made $5,000. And we would celebrate and we would do the thing. They're like, that's amazing. And then after I would say, I was just pretending. Like I just wanted to celebrate with you guys. So I would preemptively celebrate with people who understood exactly what I was doing. And I would say, I just got booked for a speaking gig. I made $5,000. And we would celebrate that together. Now, it's okay if you don't have people that are supportive around you. And I definitely do not advise you doing this with family members because they don't get it. Like they don't get it. They don't know what you're doing. Like it's nothing against them. It's just usually not the vibe. So if you're like, oh, I don't have anybody to share this with, remember, you can always come into my group coaching. This is where we celebrate and we practice these steps, but you can do it with yourself. There were times I would be in my car driving and I would just be speaking it out loud like, it feels so good to be fully booked with clients. I love my new car, and I would be in my old car. But I love my new car, and I would pretend like I could smell my new car. I would think about driving to a networking event, and on the way to the networking event, I would say, I'm going to show up in this energy of $10,000, and I'm going to show up as the version of me who just makes $10,000 all the time. And guess what? Every time I've done that, somebody's reached out to me. They've either become a one-on-one client, they've invited me to speak at an event, or they've referred someone to me. So remember that energetics is magnetic, and you can override imposter syndrome by using this process. Okay? So you're going to write it, you're going to listen to it, you're going to speak it. All right. Now, I'm going to shift gears, and I'm going to talk about actions. Okay? Because the other thing about imposter syndrome, I do not let my clients do this. If you become a client, just know I will always call you out on this. And this is called the I don't know. So when your brain says, but I don't know how. So, right, what'll happen is you'll do this journaling all day long, like you'll do it in the morning, and then your brain will be like, well, I don't know what to do next. Like, what am I supposed to do? How do I get clients? I don't know. Okay. And here's what I want to offer. The reason your brain says, I don't know, partially it is true, right? Because if you knew how to get the result, you would have already had the result. So partially it's true, but it doesn't feel good to think that. And we just do not want to be thinking thoughts that don't feel good because they're not valuable. They don't give us energy. They don't provide expansion and they don't allow us to take action. But the reason why our brain says, I don't know, is because it's the easy way out. If your brain says, I don't know, and you just feel discouraged, then you're like, oh, I guess I don't have to do anything because I don't know what to do. When you don't know what to do, you're safe because you don't have to go make an offer. You don't have to go network. You don't have to meet people. You don't have to put an Instagram post out there. So you're safe. But I want to offer that you're also really safe from making any more money. So if you want to make more money, you have to do 3 things. You have to meet people. This is something from my coach. My coach makes $10 million in her business. So I work with a millionaire mentor. So take it from her through me. It's very simple. Every day when you're asking yourself, what am I supposed to do today? Meet people, tell them what you do, and then make an offer. Like make it easy and obvious for them to work with you. Okay? So as you're thinking about what to do right now, I want everybody in the chat, if you are feeling accomplished, if you were feeling calm, if you were feeling motivated, what could you do today to meet someone, to let them know what you do, and to make an offer? I want everybody in the comments to start typing these in because I want you to train your brain on getting beyond the I don't know. Staying stuck in I don't know is never going to empower you to get to where you want to be. And then here's the rule that I'll tell you another story while you guys are typing in. So I made approximately $50,000 just in retreats in the past year. Okay. Retreats are something that I offered kind of, but really people approached me for them. They're like, hey, we want to do an executive leadership retreat. We want to do a government retreat. We want to do a military spouse retreat. And every time I was approached for this, I would say yes. Even though my brain was going, I don't know what I'm going to do for this retreat. But what I was dedicated to was growing and expanding myself. I was also dedicated to my goal of becoming a 6-figure earner. And I was also dedicating to getting paid to figure it out. So every time somebody would approach me with a retreat they wanted me to put together, I would do the consult, then I would have to do the proposal. And every time I would sit down in front of the proposal is just like a blank sheet of paper, right? I'm logging into Canva at the coffee shop. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Logging in, getting ready, pulled up the Canva worksheet. I'm like, okay. And my brain's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to teach them. And so here's the process I do when my brain tells me I don't know. Step 1, I give myself 1 hour. I say, you're working on this proposal for 1 hour. That's it. Step 2, I do a 5-minute meditation where I breathe deeply. I open up my heart. I calm my nervous system down. And then step 3, I ask my brain, what do I know? What do I know? And so every retreat I've ever done was like, okay, what have I taught before? Where have I taught it? What exercises have I done before? Where have I taught it? What workshops have I done before? Where have I taught it? And through that, I was able to create $50,000 of extra revenue because I was willing to go beyond the I don't know. I was willing to create something from nothing. This is what I want you to get really, really good at, is going beyond the I don't know. You have to be willing to make it up as you go. You have to be willing to guess. Everybody thinks someone has the answer, The only reason you guys are coming to me is because I've been willing to figure it out as I go, and now I have something to teach from it. Okay? But I want, as your coach for the day, for this next 2 weeks, I want to empower you to figure it out. Because I don't ever want you dependent on me as your coach to figure it out for you, because I want to empower you to know you're always going to be able to figure it out. And I'm going to help you, but I want you to know that you can do it. Okay. Alicia says, 2024, 2025 astrology reading for $85 an hour. Perfect. So Alicia, where could you post this? Where could you let people know this? I want everybody today taking an action. Because this is what Tony Robbins says, never leave the sight of setting a goal without doing something towards its attainment. And since we're doing this 2-week challenge, I want to challenge you every day to do more aligned action. And aligned action is when you get your energetics in the right place, where you're feeling like, I can do this. There's one person out here who wants this. My work is important. I believe in myself. I believe they want this. When you're in that energy, it's magnetic. People are attracted to that energy. When you're in the energy of like, well, it doesn't matter. Social media sucks. Nobody sees my stuff. Instagram hates me. If you're in that energy, what you put out is not going to be as magnetic. It's not going to feel as compelling to your person. So what actions would you take? Going to a networking event, reaching out to an old client, reaching out to an old friend and just saying like, hey, wanted to catch up for coffee. Going to all of your social media outlets and making sure you have a direct booking link. Here's what I offer. Here's how to work with me. Very clear, very simple. I see this a lot with people who are trying to be like really vague. Just tell them what you do very simply. If you want help organizing your home, book here. If you want a reading, book here. If you're looking to buy a house, send me a direct message. I'll talk to you. Whatever it is, make it so easy and obvious so that people don't have to do a lot of work for this. Okay? All right, I'm going to give you one more example before we close out today. So your action items are, after today, you're going to start doing your journaling morning and evening if you can, make your recordings if you can, and then every day for the length of this challenge, you're going to be taking an aligned action. Making sure that you're making an offer, you're getting out into the world meeting people, that it's very obvious what you do. Okay? Good. Lisa says, yes, create an online group. I am a coach, offer a coaching call. Look at that. You got it, Lisa. Amazing. All right. So here is the final step of this, okay? Every single day, you're doing your journaling. Every single day, you're taking an actual action. You're not just doing your journaling. You also need to show up in the world in front of human beings. And if you're only exclusively like building your online business, what I really want to encourage you to do is get out and have coffee with another human. Or if you're in a really rural area, book a coffee chat with someone. Just get in front of someone. Excuse me, I'm like yelling at you guys today. Let me get some water. There we go. Okay, get in front of someone where you can have an actual conversation and tell them what you do. Because a lot of times you're just not practiced at saying it over and over again. And so I just invite you for the next 2 weeks to practice it as many times as possible without being attached to the outcome, without worrying if they're going to book with you or not. Okay? I'm going to take a pause to cough again. Okay. So here's what I'm going to finish up with for the rest of this call. You have your homework. And if you're a replay audience, let me know that you've watched this on replay, you've completed it, you finished it, you're good. Because don't worry, you can watch all of these at once. And the reminder is you can always watch these in replay again and again. And I put things on double speed. Or listen to them at 1.5 speed too. So that's a really good way to get caught up. All right, so here's what I want to leave you with today. We're going to meet back here on Thursday, September 12th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. This next challenge teaching is going to be on your offer, like specifically what it is you sell, specifically how much you sell it for. Now, those of you here who are commission-based, okay? I know I have real estate clients. I've worked with real estate clients. I've helped them get their commissions up. I've helped them, one of them made $22,000 in a month, right? So like, we know that it's possible for you to make this in real estate. And you have to learn how to communicate the value of what you do, because I hear this a lot, especially in real estate, where people's thoughts are like, well, people don't want to pay commissions. They don't want to pay a real estate agent. They're just trying to like buy it from the owner. Your job as the agent is to show them the value of an agent. Your job as a coach is to show them a value as a coach. Your job as an astrologer is to show them the value of an astrology reading. So that's what we're going to go into next time. That's what's going to help you feel really solid about your pricing and about your offer, and then about communicating it to the world. So you really do want to be on that live if you can on Thursday. Here's the second announcement I have. I'm going to continue to announce this as we go along, but this challenge is the kickoff. This challenge is the opening to the early enrollment to my group coaching program. My group business coaching program is called Permission to Profit. We start in November. But what I'm doing now is I have 3 tiers, okay? So I'm opening it up first to any of my past clients. So they are going to be getting an email today that says, hey, I've got 10 spots available. If you're a past client, I'm going to invite them first. Then I'm going to be inviting you all. Anybody who is participating in this challenge, whether you're on replay, whether you're watching this in the future, as long as you're in this challenge and you're here with me from September 10th to September 20th, 2024, you will be invited to consider applying to Permission to Profit. Let me just tell you why to enroll early. So we start in November, but the reason to enroll early is it comes with bonuses. So first of all, I only have 10 spots, so first come, first serve. I'm offering it to you early, knowing that you're wanting to engage, you're wanting to grow your business, and you may want to do this in a coaching container with a 6-figure coach, which is me, who's going to help you with your emotions, your strategy, and learning how to actually do spreadsheets and plan for profit. Because I see a lot of times there's some, just being female, like unfortunately, we've been conditioned that we're not good with money. We don't know how to deal with it. And that was me. The first time I looked at a spreadsheet, I had like a panic attack. And now I get excited about money. I know how it works. I know where to put it. I know how to invest it. And I want to help you with all of that. So that's what we do in this 6-month program. We deal with your mindset. We deal with your strategy. We also deal with like the tactics, right? Actually going into building your profit. And then we deal with sales and marketing, which is the biggest part of our business, right? You're good at what you do. You really want to help people, but you have to learn how to master sales and marketing from a heart space, right? Not from the sleazy, none of you want to be a sleazy, slimy salesperson. And I won't teach you that. What I'll teach you is how to be open-hearted, how to really communicate with people, how to offer them things in a way that feels like it's low pressure, and how to bring clients to you so that you don't feel like you're chasing people in the DMs or feeling like you have to be aggressive in any way. So enrollment will be open on September 12th for you all. So I want you to just get it in mind that you may want to consider joining, because you're going to have 6 months of group coaching. You'll build a network within that community. We have multiple coaching calls every single month where you're going to get direct coaching on your specific industry, on your specific business. You're also going to get access to breath work. Breath work is a bonus of this program too. So you'll get to experience breath work. Breath work is the place where you go to take all your emotions, all your frustrations, all of your failures, all of your fears, all of that like discouragement. You take it to breath work, you let it go so you can get up and go again. So that is what I'll be offering. I'll open that up on Thursday for all of you. If you have any questions about it prior to, feel free to message me. And if you do message me, then I'll just know you're interested and I'll kind of put you on the top of the list. But it's going to go out to my past clients first. Then it's going to be offered to you all. And the bonus here is you will get extra coaching. So the group itself doesn't start till November, but we're going to have bonus calls and we're going to have bonus breath work. And you're going to get access to my materials, my resources, my videos earlier than anybody else. I also have a 6-month payment plan so you can get ahead of those payments. You can get started on it. You can take action in your business now. You can start taking that aligned action. So Permission to Profit will be opening up on Thursday. All right. I want to let you know to get ready for that if you're wanting to take this work deeper. So we're going to close out this call. I'm going to do a quick grounding meditation for you all. We're going to expand our consciousness through our business. Let's do this together. Yeah. Okay. So if you're in a place to do this, place your feet flat on the ground. Kind of just get in your body. We did a lot of stuff in our head. Let's get in our body. If you're ready to, go ahead and close down those eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe place a hand on the belly or the heart. Breathing in through the top of the head, exhaling through the feet. 2 more times. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Breathing in. And exhaling out. Okay. So this breath that we did down through the crown, this is known as the manifestation current, bringing thoughts into reality. This is your reminder to bring those positive thoughts, positive affirmations into reality to create clients and cash. And now let's reverse the breath. Drawing energy up through the feet. Exhaling out through the head. 2 more up through the feet. Last one, nice and slow through the feet. Out through the head. That energetic current is what's known as the liberation current. This is connecting to all potential possibilities, all potential clients, all potential income sources. Limitless, expansive. And go ahead and just touch the body somewhere, whether it's on the heart or on the belly. And call in this feeling of groundedness, of open-heartedness, feeling accomplished, of feeling proud, at peace, calm, confidence. And then imagine the feeling or vibration of enoughness going deep into every cell. And with each breath, imagine that enoughness spreading out, creating this bubble around you that is magnetic. You're feeling calm, confident, grounded, and accomplished. Anchored into enoughness. And with clarity, imagine your next action today. Imagine getting the desired result. And then draw that back into the heart, having love and gratitude for the miracle that it is to be alive, to have a business, to have the freedom to create and expand, and to have this energetic support from God, universe, love, whatever it is you believe. Feeling loved, feeling supported and grounded, feeling enough. Bring your hands to heart center now. One more breath. And then gently wiggling fingers and toes. Gently fluttering those eyes open. Maybe a stretch, maybe a yawn. All right, friends, that's what we've got for today. Feel free to continue commenting and celebrating in the group. Let me know how this is landing for you. Let me know if anything's coming up for you. I'm going to be customizing this training based on your feedback. So be active in the Facebook group. Let me know what you need. We're going to spend an amazing 2 weeks together, and I really want you to receive. I told you, a $6,000 value, right? You might get a little nugget, one sentence, one inspiration that's going to allow you to make $6,000. I want you to just imagine that as a possibility. Let's lean into that. This group is called 5K in 5 days. Like, what if that was a possibility? How would that feel? That's what we want to lean into. All right. You're welcome, Monique. Thank you for being here, Lisa. Beautiful. All right. Let me know what actions you take so we can celebrate. Another thing to note, I will be giving out some prizes for those who participate. So the more I see you engaging and participating and tagging me, if you tag me on Instagram at Cami Kennedy, I'll be able to see that you're actively engaging. And I will be giving out prizes because I want to make this fun for y'all. All right? I will see everybody on Thursday. Bye.